this material all you want. Okay? Just quote my name, that it doesn't come from you, it comes from me. Okay? And just apply it. I'm just kidding. But, you know, that testimony that you are about to hear later on, okay? Later on will give you a thorough and a burden to help people. When she came to me 3 years ago, I was not well equipped yet in counseling depression. Maybe a little of counseling depression. When I had that experience with her regarding depression, I just see to it, wow, this is something that we could do pala in the church, even if we're not thoroughly equipped in counseling, but we understand full well that this seminar that you're about to hear in a number of hours, a few hours, will really help us a lot in helping people, even if we're not professional counselors, because this is a layman's word for us to study. Lian, I have a change of plan. Okay? Ganyan naman talaga pag live shows, no? Maraming. I want to show the video first to whet the appetite of people who are listening. Okay? Let's listen to this testimonial video so that I can navigate through her testimony in the coming session, how it is. I'll just use her testimony to share with you what are the practical, psychological, and spiritual ways for us to help people who are depressed. Are we ready, Lian? Okay, bababa muna ako, ha? Okay. So let's just listen intently and be inspired by the video that we'll be listening to.
So I have suffered 5 episodes of major depression. Yung tinatawag ni Pastor na clinical depression. Ang first episode po ay when I was 15. Then naka-recover ako and then nagkaroon ng relapse. 17 ako, nagkaroon ng 2 episodes ulit. During those time, I tried to commit suicide. Sobrang hirap po. Iniisip ko, sobrang hirap kasi may mga anxiety attacks. Lagi mong naiisip na sana kunin na lang ako ni Lord kasi ang hirap-hirap, hindi ako makatulog, nahihirapan ako kumain, maligo, kahit yung uupo lang ako ng maging still, mahirap po talaga. Ayun po. So, naka-recover po ako noon. Tapos, from 2003 to 2012, wala po ako na-experience na any major depression. So, nakapag-finish ako ng college and then nakapaghanap din ako ng work afterwards. Then, yun, normal lang yung buhay. Then, hindi ko inaasahan, after ko mag-resign noong 2012, then came 2013. Doon ko na-experience ulit yung fourth major depression. Katulad ng ibang depression, nagsik ako ng help sa psychiatrist for antidepressants. Kasi hindi ako makatulog. Siyempre, yun ang concern ko, makatulog, makapahinga. So, kailangan ko ng antidepressants. Naka-recover ako noong 2013, but nagkaroon ako relapse noong 2014. Nag-work ako noon as an instructor, English instructor. Pero dahil nga hindi na ako sanay sa work, na-stress talaga ako. Tapos na-exhaust, over-exhaustion. Tapos, matagal kasi ako nag-stay sa Makati. So, hindi ko nakasama palagi yung parents ko and yung family ko. And then, ito na naman, nakita ko na naman yung relational conflict sa bahay. So, nagkaroon ako, dahil nga may inability ako na ma-accept na may problema pa rin pala sa family. Yun, yung stress, exhaustion, kasama yung inability ko pa na ma-accept na ganito pa rin sitwasyon sa bahay. Before I knew it, yun na yung 5th episode ko ng depression. So, syempre, meron pong anxiety attacks talaga. Yung tipong sakay ka ng jeep, hindi mo makontrol yung sarili mo. Gusto mong bumaba, natatakot ka sa mga bagay na hindi naman dapat ikatakot. Suicidal thoughts. Ano yun? Moment by moment yun. As in, lagi mo naiisip, gusto ko nang mawala kasi ang hirap-hirap. Restlessness, nervousness, hopelessness. Hopelessness in a sense na pagising mo pala ng umaga, gusto mong matulog na lang buong maghapon. At pinagpipray mo kay Lord, Lord, please, kunin mo na lang ako. Kung ganito lang yung buong buhay ko, please, kunin mo na lang ako. Kasi walang mangyayari sa buhay ko. Tapos, inisip ko nga ngayon, sabi ko, grace lang talaga ni God, na na-endure ko yung days, weeks, and months na yun, na going through major depression. And since nga sa Makati kami nag-stay ni ate, namasyal kami sa SM Aura. And then, by chance, na-meet ko yung former mentor ko, si Ate Malu. Nung nalaman niya na I was going through depression, sabi niya, maybe I can refer you to Pastor Tito. Sabi ko, sige po, okay lang. So, noong 2015, in-arrange yung meeting namin. Ang naalala ko talaga nun sa counseling session ko with Pastor Tito is umiiyak talaga ako palagi. Sobra akong umiiyak. And then, doon nalaman ko yung deeper cause ng aking depression. Na kinokondemn ko yung sarili ko sa mga kasalanan ko na dapat pinatawad ko na yung sarili ko. And then, hindi ko kasi kayang patawarin yung sarili ko sa mga faults ko. And then, I thought na, doon ko rin na-realize na sobra ko naramdaman na unloved ako, unaccepted, and rejected ng mga taong hinilook up to ko. I always wanted to be perfect. Kasi iniisip ko kung perfect ako, ma-accept ako ng mga taong mahalaga sa akin. Ayun. So, nakakatuwa kasi sa counseling session, hindi ko na-feel na na-condemn ako. Kundi naramdaman ko na there's someone from the Christian community na pwedeng naramdaman ko yung acceptance mula kay Pastor Tito na okay lang magkamali. Doon ko naramdaman na may nakakaintindi sa akin, sa condition ko. And then sabi niya sa akin, I don't have to go back sa mga ganong iniisip ko na issues about sin, kundi I have to remind myself of who am I kay Christ, yung identity ko kay Christ. Sinabi rin niya sa akin na I should listen to worship songs, and also, i-establish ko, i-develop ko yung emotional quotient ko na sobrang baba at that time. Sobrang baba at that time. Little by little, dahil nga nag-undergo naman din ako ng sessions with the psychiatrist, continuous pa rin po yung pag-inom ko ng antidepressants with minimal dosage. Ang ginawa ko po, syempre yung advice ni Pastor Tito, ginawa ko po siya. So I always kept thinking about God's love. Na mahal ako ni God completely and meron siyang best plans for me. And then, yun din, since wala akong work, I immersed myself in creative things. Ginawa ko talaga yung mga gusto kong gawin. Art, watercolor, lahat ng gusto kong matutunan. Baking, lahat ng iniisip kong hindi ko magawa noon, trinay kong gawin. So, nakakatuwa. Ang dami ko palang pwedeng gawin. Yun ang natutuwa ako. Tapos, bago matapos yung 2015, alam ko na yung depression ko ay na-lift na. And then, although may minimal dosage pa rin ng antidepressants, alam ko na kailangan lang siya for maintenance. Noong 2016, doon ko nakita yung mga dati kong prayers na na-answer ni God. Noong 2016, nag-open si God ng bagong door for work. Nag-join ako sa isang organization sa Tondo, NGO, Foundation in Tondo, na nag-sponsor ng education sa mga batang may hirap around Smoky Mountain. Nung working with them, na-realize ko na ang dami palang bata naghihirap, mas nahihirapan pa kaysa sa akin. So nakita ko doon how blessed I was. Hindi po ako mayaman pero pag pumunta kayo sa community nila, sobrang makikita mo yung daily sustenance sila. Hindi nila alam kung saan kakain, anong kakain na that day. Hindi nila alam kung kaya ba nila na magkaroon ng bright future. Doon ako na-challenge. Doon ko nakita talaga na mahal ako ni God. doon din ako, noong 2016 din ako nagkaroon ng mga bagong kaibigan. Mga kaibigan na talented, may passion, marunong maging masaya at tumawa. So, nahawa talaga ako sa kanila kasi parang nakita ko, pwede pala maging masaya. Kahit nagtatrabaho ka, pwede ka pala maging masaya. 2016 din, doon ko nakilala yung sarili ko. I learned not to be hard on myself. Na I don't have to be frustrated kapag nagkamali ako. Okay lang, kahit hindi mangyari yung plano ko. Natanggap ko kung sino ako. Acceptance, at naging patient ako kung sa sarili ko. Yun, natutunan ko na hindi ko kailangan maging perfect. Kasi si God, mahal niya ako perfectly, kahit na marami kong flaws tsaka imperfections. Natutunan ko rin na huwag matakot sa sasabihin ng ibang tao. Kasi si God, kilala niya talaga ako perfectly. Tsaka, natutunan ko na, since akala ko nun dapat gawin ko lahat. Pero natutunan ko na may limitations ako. And kailangan kong irespeto yung limitations ko. May mga bagay na pwede kong gawin at may mga bagay na hindi ko dapat gawin. And yung last, natutunan ko na huwag i-compare ang sarili ko sa ibang tao. Ito, I think sa mga babae, especially, lagi kinok mas maganda siya, mas maputi, gano'n, or... Pero natutunan ko dito na maging masaya ako, na talented sila, na may mga achievements sila. And yung last, I learned to accept na kahit hindi fair ang life, kaya kong palaging pagkatiwalaan yung goodness ng God. Yun. And in 2016 din, nag-decide yung doctor ko na i-stop na yung medication ko. Ayun po. Marami pa pong blessings, kaya sobrang natutuwa lang ako sa goodness ng God kasi inalaw niya ako na maging free from antidepressants. Ang tanong po, nalulungkot pa rin ba ako, na-stress pa rin ba ako at na-exhaust? Siyempre naman po, kasama yun sa buhay. May problema pa rin ba sa family ko? Meron pa din po. Pero ano po yung what keeps me from yielding to depression is yung knowledge na una, kailangan kong i-accept na may mga bagay na hindi ko kayang baguhin. Yung family ko, family members ko, may mga bagay hindi ko sila kayang baguhin eh. And kailangan ko rin accept na laging may problema. There are hardships in life. Hindi mawawala yan. At yung pinaka-best, lagi kong kayang i-place ang hope and trust ko kay God. Siya yung aking Savior. There will always be things na makakapag-discourage sa akin. Pero at the end of each day, alam ko kung sino may hawak ng buhay ko. I can rest knowing God is in control at siya ay good. I don't have to worry dahil buhay siya at mahal niya ako. Jesus is always inviting us to come to Him to have rest whenever we are weary. He is our shepherd. Siya yung shepherd natin. So as we rest in Him, He restores our souls. Yun lang po. So I have suffered 5 episodes of major depression.
Okay.
Yung tinatawag ni
Replay na yan, replay. Okay, shall we give a round of applause? So, she came to my office one day with her sister. We had our session about maybe 4 to 6 months. She's coming every month, coming from Lipa. He's overnighting in Makati, being with her sister. So I didn't know that she had suffered already 5 episodes of depression. Should I have known, I should have referred it to more professional, specialized in depression. So sabi ni Lord, siguro dapat hindi mo malaman para I can work through you and in you for her. So, the seminar that I'm about to teach you is not something that is beyond you. This is something that you could use. If not, sabi ko nga kanina, hindi ko na ituturo sa inyo to. Ako na lang gagawa nito. So, parang humaba ang buhay ko at humaba ang buhay natin lahat, magtulungan tayo to help those people who are in depression. Okay? So, I will give the Lord a clap offering. Okay? Is our slide ready now? Okay. So, I just remember her one day when I was about to review my depression seminar. So the materials is already complete when I heard her testimony. Actually, her testimony validated everything that was written there. sabi ko, magaling talaga si Lord. Talagang pinatibay pa niya yung natin, yung resources natin for the material that we have. Kaya people who will be reading our material, you will share material, that is a living testimony. That is not something through the books that you could read, foundational theories. More of the things that you will read in the manual and hear from me, validated by testimony, you say, totoo pala yan. Kasi yung mismong tao na depressed na 5th episode, dapat na kay Lord na yan, buhay pa ngayon. At gumaling, ha? There are some people who've been in the ministry, in the state of depression. 1 episode pa lang, nag-suicide na. But this one, 5th episode, but he's still alive. Okay, if our slide is ready, I'll start the seminar now. Okay? Nababasa nyo ba? Pwedeng buksan yung ilaw. Yan, wala namang video na eh. Okay, can we open the lights? Okay. So, counseling the depressed people is something that is of the grace of God. Tell the person next to you, it's about the grace of God.
It's about the grace of God.
We have seen people, no, being in the condition of counseling the depressed. That it's really a hard case to start with. No? One of the hardest cases in counseling people is counseling the depressed people. Ito, Pastor Jay will testify in the States, antidepressant drugs are just over the counter. It's like biogesic. Ganon katindi sa US. Kasi sa kanila, part ng culture nilang ma-depress. Dito sa Pilipinas, yung depression hindi na part ng culture natin. Nakikisosyal lang tayo minsan. Malungkot lang, sabi nga ni Pastor Jerome, malungkot lang sasabihin, depressed ako. Bakit? Kasi kumukuha ng attention. But I told him a while ago, maaaring ang depression bata, pero baka 0 level lang. Kasi depression starts from sadness until extreme depression. No? There are so many things that we have to look into in depression side. And with the proliferation of social media, all the more mas nabibigyan ng hype yung depression, di ba? With all the social media, yung mga bata, lalo na yung mga bata, okay, pag may nakikita silang mga friends nila na post sa social media na merong ganito, bata ko wala, naiingit sila, ba't ganito yung friends niya, maganda siya, bata ko hindi. So nagkakaroon ng comparison that leads to more deeper depression in them. And everything is starting in the mind. And depression set through the mind and through the emotions, no? So our depression stage brings a lot of good notion to see that life is something that is stressful. So ang depression stage ng tao starts from where we begin and the stress that life that we have. Ang buhay naman tao parati naman may stress. Sino dito walang stress sa buhay? Taas ang kamay. Kung wala, na kay Lord na tayo, di ba? So we need to think about those things that happen in us. Okay, that's my family. And this is my picture before I get depressed. Okay? That's before depression. Ate Lina knows that. Ate Lina ko is one of my sister ni Pastor Fer, who knows me when I'm still. That is the face that you cannot forget, Ate Lina. Huh? Okay, that was UST days. Okay. Siyempre, mas gwapo tayo. Pakibasa nga itong verse nito, mga kapatid. 1, 2, 3, go.
Fire has thou my soul burned.
So when people ask me, Pastor Tito, sa Bible ba may mga depression cases na? Sabi ko, meron na. Hindi lang nilalagay doon yung salitang depression. Kasi wala pa naman silang psychological term on understanding depression. But here, who quoted this verse? King David. King David was so depressed. When the times when he was being pursued by King Saul. Oh, he was so depressed. He talked to himself, "Why are you downcast, O my soul?" So that the man after God's own heart have depression, suffer depression, and who we are. So even the spiritual person can suffer that. But at the end of the day, he knows the promise of God. And he said to himself, "Why are you downcast, O my soul?" And at the second bed, he said, "Put your trust in God." So it means that the awareness of depression should not be denied. If you have one, you need to accept and you need to let other people know so that you could be helped. So very important for us to understand that in the midst that even the spiritual person in the Bible suffered a lot of depression. The book of Lamentation, when you read the book of Lamentation, there are a lot of groanings, grief, and depression. How many people have written that? Many people, not only King David, have written Lamentation. So it means even in the olden times, people suffered depression. You know why? Because we are all human beings. We're broken people. Because of the sin that we had committed before God through our original parents had given us some brokenness. So, human beings are not perfect. Some way, somehow, we will experience some levels of depression. The question is, it's not about depression, it's about how do we manage that? How should we navigate it towards our level of relationship with God? So how many percent in the worldwide? 5%, 350 million people, okay, worldwide suffer from depression. Regardless of age, he has no respect of person, regardless of status, economic. We have seen people committed suicide. High status in government, president of the bank, high caliber actor, Robbie Williams is a comedian, committed suicide. How come this person is a happy person? You never know, because depression always have two faces, laughing from the outside and crying from the inside. It's very deceiving. And the United States, there is 6.7% or even higher right now, okay, of people who suffer from depression. Most of them are youth from 13 to 18. That is 20% of it. In the Philippines, okay, in the Philippines, okay, sorry, balik natin. Balik, yan, okay. Okay. In the Philippines, there's what? Committee on Youth stresses the need to intensify public education. This is good, no? Because even our politicians, especially Senator Joel Villanueva, a pastor before and now a senator, knows the importance, because in the university there are a lot of blackout news. They're not saying, because that is not good marketing for the school to say that there are a lot of suicide cases. But many, even your sons and daughters will tell you that there are some cases of depression and suicide at that in the university. So he made a proposal, a bill. It's called Youth Suicide Prevention Act. That's why this is very good for our campuses. We can go to the campus and conduct this seminar, because that will be, we're doing the university a favor of learning about how to prevent suicide. Okay. Filipino kids as young as 10 years old have committed suicide because of depression. And this is a state. That's why the Senate is trying to study that full well. In fact, it said there that, they are trying to make this a bill and make it more, putting some budget into it, so that research will be even more thorough to help people in the stage of depression. No? So these are some stats that you can take on. So in the news, in the Philippine Daily Inquirer, Senator Villanueva see the need to intensify education on mental health and suicide prevention. He stressed the need to increase investment in research on these aspects and bigger budget allocation for medical support and workers, which are crucial to prevent suicide. Grabe, no? Ganun talaga yung ano niya, yung advocacy. It's good that we have a senator like Senator Villanueva who had that burden to help other people. But of course, not only the young people who are suffering. In fact, I have a case right now. I have a lady, an old lady, age 65 siguro. So, it's only the age of 65 na kick in yung depression niya. When I try to diagnose and try to counsel and try to assess what is the root cause of her depression, you know what? It's the cause of a long year, 20-year manipulation of her mother-in-law. Diba? Bless tayo pag mabait yung mga mother-in-law natin. Okay? Kaya yung mga single dito, mag-pray kayo na mabait yung mga mother-in-law. Okay. So, kasi namatay yung asawa niya eh. Her husband died a few years ago. And she left. Yun ang naging trigger ng depression niya. Kasi wala na siyang shield and protection sa mother-in-law niya. Medyo man yun, doon siya nagkaroon at the age of 65. Imagine that. By 65, parang we feel like we're freed already, we're okay, we're stress-free, parang ano ka na, emptiness ka na, you can do what you want. But now that depression kicked in. Nakakaawa. So I'm meeting her once a month, and he's still going to the psychiatrist. And mind you, whenever people come to her for counseling for depression, I don't say you don't go back to your psychiatrist. I always say, whatever I tells you, report it to your psychiatrist so that when your psychiatrist tells, nagkaroon ka na improvement, babawasan niya yung gamot niya. And that's what exactly happened to the woman in the video. So there was improvement. Then the doctor says, okay, no more, it's just maintenance and then let her free. Okay? So minsan kasi naiisip natin, depression, big time yan. Wala tayong magagawa niyan. Professional yan. Okay? Meron tayong magagawa mga kapatid. That's why this is now my advocacy. This is my 6th or 7th seminar nationwide. I've been to Aklan, Bacolod, Davao, okay, in other schools in UP, Los Baños, saying that we can do something about it because this is psycho-spiritual and sociological approach in depression. We cannot take the medical side. We are not doctors. We are not psychiatrists. We are not psychologists. We can be a counselor, but ministerial counseling. But there are some practical ways for us to help. So let's go to the formal definition, okay, of what counseling the depressed is all about. So depression is an emotional condition that takes a person into the state of sadness, loneliness, and disappointment. When people come to me having the case of depression, I don't even use the word depressed or you are depressed because I don't want to put any kind of stigma or label to the person. In my conversation and my counseling, I always use the word emotional condition. Parati akong ganon. May grief ba yan? Anger problem ba yan? Whatever that is, I don't want the person to experience stigma na nililabel yan, depressed ka. Parang ganon parang everything, no? It helps a lot in the atmosphere of healing. In a healing atmosphere, kailangan makita natin yung mga taong ganon. If the psychiatrist is depressed, then psychiatrist label them. But for me, I would not label them as such. Because I believe that is only a temporary condition. Okay? So depression can also be clinical. It's a chemical imbalance of the brain and disrupt daily routine. The worst condition is manic depression or bipolar. Other people say it's a bipolar. in nature, which usually characterized by erratic mood or dysfunction. You always hear the word bipolar, right? It means a extreme mood swing. Masayang masaya, malungkot na malungkot. Tawa ng tawa, iyak ng iyak. Nagagalit, mood swing, hindi normal. Okay? Because that is the extreme manifestation of depression. Pag ganon, meron ng mental illness yun. Psychiatric, illness na yun. So, it says here that depression can also be temporary. Sabihin natin temporary. Yes. There are some depression that are temporary. For example, namatayan ka ng kamag-anak. Iba talaga because of too much emotional attachment and relationship, then they become depressed. That's legitimate. There's no chemical imbalance with that. And that's just part of human nature. Okay? Usually, ang tawag ko doon, hindi clinical depression, kundi emotional depression. Nag-fail ka sa business, nalungkot ka. Na-discipline ka sa ministry, na-depress ka. Normal lang yun. Emotional depression ang tawag doon. Pero kailangan pa rin ng ministry yun. Okay? So, may mga temporary. Temporary setback, temporary frustration. Pero yung mga temporary, pag hindi na-heal at hindi na-process sa counseling, nagiging mental condition. And mind you in my experience in counseling for many years, I've seen many temporary depression that leads to extreme depression. Bakit? Napabayaan. And most of the time, okay, I want to tell you, it's up. Tayo lahat to, mga kapatid. Karamihan ng mga Christian, ang defense mechanism natin, ni-spiritualize lang natin lahat. Kaya ko yan, Lord. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. 10 taon, ganun ka pa rin. Hindi nagbabago yung pakiramdam. Kasi hindi ka humingi ng tulong eh. Feeling mo Superman ka eh. Okay? Hindi pwedeng ganun. Kaya nga create tayong maraming tao, iba-ibang giftings natin. Kasi para magtulungan tayo. Okay? Kung hindi, bumaba na lang si Lord, kunin na tayo lahat, di ba? Wala na tayong problema. Hindi dapat ganun. Kaya karamihan ng mga temporary depression, na maraming Christian nauuwi sa extreme depression kasi hindi na ma-manage fully. And I'm happy to say that our church in Victory is now very, very aware of this condition. That's why we are advocating this one. Whenever there's teaching on counseling, I'll just have to navigate myself and try to balance myself in that area. Okay? So very important yung depression. So, understanding the human person. Okay? So, now, let's go to this slide, okay? So, people that have not undergone my biblical counseling training, let's look into that. The human soul is part of our life. And actually, the human soul is the most neglected part of our life. Right? People are very into bodybuilding, diet, pampaganda, no? Lahat. Ang papogi. So, lahat ng bagay, pati sa katawan, vain tayo. Pagdating sa spiritual, okay rin naman tayo. May mga seminar, worship conference, etc. Pagdating sa human soul, okay lang yan. Kaya na ni Lord yan. Diba? Kaya maraming Christian, hindi nagpapakounsel. Tama na ang Word of God, tsaka prayer, tsaka podcast, okay na yan. And I tell you this, I've counseled a lot of pastors, even beyond Victory. Highly spiritual pastors are suffering for depression. Why? Because they neglected the human soul. Soul is part of our life. We're body, soul, and spirit. What will profit a man if he gains the whole world and yet lose his soul? Not the spirit, because the spirit goes to God. But the soul is the real us. Our body is a shell, is only a shell of who we really are. That's why the soul is very important to God. If we don't take care of our intellect, our emotions, and our will, then there's something wrong with that. And that's why our advocate in WMA is healthy well-being. We want to help pastors to attain well-being, mga burnout na pastors, mga minister, campus ministers, missionary. the overseas missionary that we have, whenever they go home in Manila, they come to me for debriefing to help them replenish, rejuvenate, and revive their human soul, because somehow there are a lot of enemies of the human soul that sometimes we're not aware of. So let's be careful to look at this area and give importance to this, because tiny stresses accumulated, tiny stresses will accumulate, and later on you don't know what to do anymore, and you're out of sync of your life. Hindi mo nakilala yung sarili mo. And I've seen people, many people are like that. Let's look into the different causes of depression. Okay? Shall we read the verse? 1, 2, 3, go.
I acknowledge the sin and to become iniquity. I said I will confess my transgressions to you, and you forgave the iniquity of my sin.
Many cases of depression is rooted in sin. Maybe 5 out of 6 of my counseling cases rooted in sin. Okay? About 2 days ago, I talked to a woman, no? Na sabi niya, Pastor, I'm suffering from depression. I'm seeing a psychiatrist. I'm under medication right now. I'm under counseling. I'm under pero alam ko, Pastor, yung cause ng depression ko. Ano yung cause ng depression mo? Disobedience to the Lord. I'm in a sinful life right now. So minsan yung confession mo, kailangan, sabi ko, it's better for you to confess. Diba? The Bible says, confess your sin towards one another so that you will be healed. So confession is part of counseling. It should be out of the open. And many people are suffering depression, don't want to talk to anyone because they are ashamed. And tayo naman, we don't know how to handle, because when we talk to people, they try to investigate as if we are FBI or NBI. That's why people are very withdrawn not to take anything and share anything for themselves. No? So let's look into some areas of root causes. Kala lang natin ang depression, isang beses lang yan. O kala lang natin pag nalulungkot ang isang tao, nag-iinarte lang. Pare yan lang naman, nalulungkot ka na. Mag-move on ka na. Di ba? Para yung salitang move on, masyado natin inaabuso. Pero remember this, all emotions are neutral. You cannot say because you don't feel, the person feel is not validate. It's not valid. You always respect the emotion of other people, even if you think it is not proper or not. But the attitude and the response towards emotion is a different story. But if the person says, I'm sad, I'm grieving, etc. Don't try to rationalize. People always analyze people's emotion. Who among us here are guilty of that? Okay, all of us. We try to analyze. Whenever it's emotion, we don't analyze emotion because emotions are valid. Okay? Sometimes people cannot analyze. Bakit ganyan? Ganun lang. Nasaktan ka na. Ganun lang. Na-offend ka na, ganun lang, nasaktan ka na. Parang, teka, hindi mo naman damdamin to eh. Diba? Ikaw ba yung katawan ko para magsalita niyan? Parang yung anak ko, pag pinagsasabihan ko, sasabihin sa akin, Daddy, this is not your body. Sabi ko, ano? Ang tao lang, ang may katawan lang, ang nakakaalam kung ano ang nararamdaman niya. At tayo, kailangan natin respetuhin. Yan. At intindihin. Kung hindi ka makatulong, intindihin mo na lang. At huwag ka na magpadagdag sa sama ng loob. Yan ang problema natin, di ba? Sama ng loob na yan, dinadagdagan mo pa. Kinaunsilan mo, pinagalitan mo naman. Ano yung dagdagan pa ulit? Hindi ka naging healing. Okay, let's look into the root. Number 1, shame and guilt, 1 and 2. It is a one coin with two sides. No? If there's guilt, there's shame. If there's shame, there's guilt. Simple pattern. May ginawa kang kasalanan, adulterous behavior, lying, theft. you feel guilty and you feel ashamed. And many people feels like that. And those people doesn't manage well their shame and guilt and did not confess it. At lalo na yung sabi ni kanina nung nasa video ng ng sister, sobrang baba ng EQ ko, emotional quotient. That's why the way he handles shame and guilt
Very low din.
cause clinical depression on her. So people become shameful, sometimes not shameful of their own acts, but shameful of other people's action. I just counseled about 3 days ago a lady, one of our campus missionary. Ang sense of shame niya, hindi yung ginawa niya eh. Shame of shame niya, yung ginawa ng tatay niya. Kilala siya sa church. Tapos yung tatay niya ganyan, nadidisiplin, daming ginagawa hindi maganda. So, nakaka-add sa kanya ng shame. Pero sabi niya, parang nawawalan ako ng confidence, Pastor, tumayo sa harapan. Nagigilty ako na kahit yung sarili kong tatay, hindi ko ma-share ng ganitong tama. Nahihiya ako. So sometimes it causes her some anxiety attack, some episode of depression, maybe 0.1 o 0.2 depression level. Pero depression pa rin sa kanya. Shame and guilt. That's why when you're talking to people or something, you try to ask, what are the things that you're guilty of? Or are the things you have experienced, shameful experiences that you have in life? Or are there some things that you did in the past that right now kicking you in and convicting you? And the Lord is saying something, nakukonvict. May mga tao kasi may marami nang ginawang kalokohan dati, di ba? Dire-diretso sa ministry. Tapos ngayon, ilang one time, nag-quiet time. Dahil open na, intimate na kay Lord. Bilang sinabi, okay, kumupit ka ng pera sa simbahan. Confess mo yan. So, nagkaroon siya ng ill feeling. Na-shame siya, nagkaroon ng shame, siya ng guilt. So, somehow, this brings about a lot of shame and guilt to people. That's why it causes a level of depression. So, look into that. It's better that you have shame and guilt. You go directly and don't waste time. Go to a trusted friend, a trusted person who will listen and understand who you are and not be judgmental. Because what is far more important to people is the element of trust. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Why are we here now? Because people trusted us. If trust is out in the window, it's useless to be together. Trust is very important. The foundation of relationship is always trust. It's not even love. Do you agree with that? Trust. If we don't trust a person, how can we love a person that we don't trust? Okay? Love can just go out of the window, but trust remains the same. Very important yan. Those are number one top root causes of death. Ano pa iba? Fear. Takot. Fear of the future, fear of something, may trauma, okay, merong incident na nangyari na hindi niya matanggap sa isip niya, sa damdamin niya. Talagang sumabog yung mundo niya, nagunaw yung mundo niya. Kasi sobrang taas ng expectation level niya sa buhay niya. Now, he doesn't know what to do. So, all his comfort zone are burned out. He has a fear of the future. He doesn't know the way. He doesn't know the road. So, some people are like that. Look, the very basic manifestation of fear is what we call paranoia. O paranoid ka. Parang feeling mo, pinag-uusapan ka ng tao. Parang feeling mo, madadapa ka, feeling mo. O parang inuunahan mo. Okay? So those are some root causes of the girl in the video says, yung sin niya in the past kept knocking on her door. That's why he felt depressed. So that's why when I counsel, I say, don't think about the things of the past. It just come to the reality that God loves you and you have a special place in the Lord. So many people have that fear in their heart. Intense worry or anxiety. Isa pa to. Unforgiveness. You know, some people are depressed because they're not willing to forgive. Sabi nga ng isang quotation, unforgiveness is a poison that you take and you expect other people to die. That's how dangerous unforgiveness. Pastor, hindi ko maintindihan ba't ako nalulungkot ng ganito. Hindi ko nga alam eh. Wala naman, masaya naman ako. May pera naman ako. Masaya naman yung asawa ko. Masaya naman kaming family. Pero hindi ko na alam. So, i-dig deeper mo. Meron ka bang taong nakagalit? Hanggang ngayon hindi ka pa nakasettle. Walang closure sa buhay mo. Mag-iisip na malalim yan. I tell you, 1 out of the 10 people that you will talk about unforgiveness, meron. Naalala ko pa. I counseled one pastor before. He has a hard time forgiving his father. Abandon sila, ganyan, parang wala lang. Parang sabi ko, now you're a Christian, you're a pastor, you have to settle this with me. That's why you are experiencing this. This is an irrational emotional experience. Na hindi niya maintindihan bakit siya. Sabi ko, tignan mo yun. You try it. You go to your dad and try to reconcile. Then he came back to me and said, Pastor, totoo yung sinabi mo. After that prayer, as if something gets out of my heart. And I was, since day on, I'm already okay. Every day, I wake up smiling, everything. Hindi na ako irritable. Alam mo, ibang mga tao na paggising sa umaga, irritable na kagad. Parang pinaglihis sa sama ng loob. May mga issues yun sa relationship. And many people are suffering depression, have some problems with relationship. Sabi ko sa inyo, kaya natin itong mag-minister sa sa mga depressed kasi iba dyan, simple pattern lang eh. Pero intindihin lang natin yung emotions involved. Number 4. Number 5 na pala, bitterness. Kasama ng kakambala at forgiveness is bitterness. Hindi na nagpagpatawad, namumuhi pa, galit na galit. Pastor, huwag mong sasabihin sa akin yung pangalan na yan. Anino lang yan, kinamumuhian mo yan. Parang ganun, di ba? O sino ngayon ang nabibiktima? Maligalig na yung tao ng biktima sa'yo, ikaw, biktima pa rin. You let go. Let go mo sa Lord. Sabihin mo, Lord, bahala ka na sa Kanya. Kunin mo na siya. Okay. Tsaka mo na ako isama. You let go. Okay? Bitterness. Yan yung mga unconscious, sabihin natin unconscious. Unconscious emotional experience na maraming tao. That's why pag nagka-counsel ka, tingnan mo yan. Kasi minsan tayo, mga tao nagpapaano ng depress sa atin, kala lang natin, nakapababa, ito lang yung ginagawa niya. Pero, kita mo, ano lang yun, superficial lang yung presenting problem niya. Pero yung deep within na problem niya, mas malalim. Makita mo yung mga presenting niya, petty lang yun. Meron palang mas malalim na root cause. Shame, guilt, fear, unforgiveness, and bitterness. Tayo, equip naman tayo dyan kasi nag-aral tayo ng purple book. Sa 1-to-1, meron yan. So, alam natin, kulang lang natin application, di ba? So, kailangan natin gawin yan. Next, codependence. Codependence this is the psychological and political terminology for addiction. Okay? So, we don't call it addiction anymore. Okay, addict kasi yan eh. Hindi ngayon, codependent ngayon. Medyo social na ngayon. Codependent. Yan. Codependency sa drugs, sa alcohol, sa pornography or lust. Maraming codependency. Okay? So, nagkukonsil ng effect yung mga tao sa codependency. Substance, harmful event. Okay? With the many counseling that I have, marami ang codependency ng Kristiyano. Alam niyo kung saan? Sexual lust. Dami. Kasi yan pwede mong itago yan. Okay, yung droga, hindi mo na pwede itago yan. Lutang ka eh. Alam mo kaagad ka. Saka pag lasing ka, halata ka eh. Pero pag sexual addict ka, matatago mo pa yan. init ng katawan eh. Pero maraming ganyan. And I hope you will seek counsel if you are suffering from sexual struggle. So don't let it become worse because that will also lead to some levels of depression. Kasi pag hindi mo ano yan, papasok na niya yung guilt, papasok na niya yung shame. And then later on, you feel depressed. Okay, very important yan. Codependent.